A reinforced parry is a parry where I have added something to the defending blade to support that blade in its defensive action. If I were working with just the single-handed broadsword in my hand, I could, if my hand were protected by a glove, add my hand on the blade to support against an oncoming attack. Say an attack with a larger weapon, or a larger person attacking me, or just an attack with a tremendous amount of force behind it. With a buckler in my hand, I could argue that that non-dominant hand is even more protected than before, but I also can add that buckler to be the supporting element to that sword's defense. Now, if this were a flat shield, it would be easy to just place the face of the shield against the false edge of the weapon and support, where the true edge would then have more support distributed across my shoulders. As we have mentioned before, though, the curvy surface of the buckler makes something like that a little bit trickier to execute. So what I'm going to do here is take the false edge of my weapon and place it at the place where the boss of the buckler meets its face, and make sure that I'm doing that with my grip thumb toward the ceiling. So I am in a half pronated grip, not a pronated grip. Here's me with my palm facing downward. Here's me with my thumb pointing up toward the ceiling. So it's the place nearest my thumb and forefinger that I'm parking the false edge of this weapon. And probably it's easy to kind of hook the buckler in and lift the sword up rather than trying to find the right spot on the buckler with the false edge of the weapon. I'm bringing the two together and trying to place that buckler where the foible and the mid blade of the weapon meet. And then I am lifting that buckler up into position. Now, I would argue that in the case of a buckler, even that position, which is pretty stable, could become less stable if it gets too much energy hitting it. And the rest of the buckler is very curved. I don't want such a small shield to have the sword skip off of it and into me. So I'm continuing to advocate that the defense with the buckler here, with the reinforced defense with the buckler here, be a beat parry. So rather than just creating a reinforced parry and parking it in space, I am creating a reinforced parry and beating that oncoming weapon away. I am using that buckler actively to push with the true edge and add energy against the oncoming attack. Let's try a reinforced parry drill that just gives us an opportunity to practice this in 3 different quadrants. For this, I'm going to choose the targets not just of the vertical center line, which will be one, but the flanks on either side. So it's as if someone's cutting to the right side of my waist, the left side of my waist, and then the center of my head. I'm going to start right foot forward. I'm going to begin in each case, as I pass back, by putting the whole parry together, buckler and weapon together, buckler and sword together, and then bringing it out from center. Important that my parry does not miss its final position because I'm beating. I don't want to add so much extra energy that I open myself up to attacks on the other side of my body, unless that's a character choice. In this case, I want the beat to have enough energy, but not go too far. So there's a defense for my right flank. I'm going to take that apart, and then imagine that the next attack's coming to my left flank. I'm putting it together and beating. Again, same spot, the area where my forefinger and thumb are holding, that's the place I'm parking the false edge where the foible meets the mid blade, and I'm bringing this out. In this case, I'm hilt high. In this case, I'm hilt low. This is almost a parry of 3 with the sword, and this is almost a high parry of 1. But again, reinforced beat parry for the right flank, reinforced beat parry for the left flank. And then finally, if they're coming to center, I'll put it together again and move it out from center. In following our principles of parrying, the fully assembled parry must move out from center to meet the incoming attack. Let's take a look at those 3 joined parries, reinforced parry, or we might call it a buckler reinforced parry. Let's try them one more time in that same drill. Buckler reinforced beat parry. I guess that would be the full, accurate title. Here we go. I'm going to start in underarm, just to keep that right side exposed. And when I see the attack coming at me, I'm going to join everything together, pass back, and beat. Then I'm going to take it apart. Here comes an attack to my left flank. I'm going to join everything together, beat. And then finally, one coming at my head, I'm going to join everything together, beat. Again, each position should be thought of as best you can without an attacking weapon as a beat parry, not an opposition parry. That way, I'm adding energy behind the action of the buckler rather than letting something push on my sword and running the risk of having that false edge skip into me. Try these out, and we'll work on them in our sessions.